Hi, I'm Dave Dufour. I'm the Executive Director here at Elkhart Civic Theater, which Elkhart Civic Theater owns and operates the famous Bristol Opera House. 125-year-old theater, and we're still going. How many of you have never been in this building before? Okay, quite a few of you. Come back. We do other things besides comedy shows, although we do a couple of these a year, and depending on the year and depending on COVID. We also do sketch comedy shows, and we mostly do plays and musicals. And any of these things you are also able to participate in. So, as a matter of fact, we have auditions for Murder on the Orient Express coming up December 14th and 16th here. Well, it's over at the church, but that's the night for it. And so if you're interested in being in a play or even working backstage on a show, there are a number of volunteer opportunities here at Elkhart Civic Theater. So think about it, because we can certainly use you. You definitely have a skill that we can use in one way or another. So consider that. Coming up this year, we have a radio play version of It's a Wonderful Life. You might be aware of the movie, but this is a radio play done as they would have done it in the 1940s on old-time radio. So that's coming up December 16, 17, and 18, just a couple of weeks away. After that, we have our youth production of Harriet the Spy coming up in January, followed by Murder on the Orient Express. And we have other stuff coming up later in the year. We're pretty much a year-round theater, and we'd love to see you come on back and enjoy live theater. We do a variety of things. So, a couple of things before we start. Please set your cell phones to stun or turn them off. Secondly, that's pretty much it. Oh, it will be dark out there, so if you need to leave during the show, there will be a 10-minute intermission, but if you need to leave at any other time, please be careful, especially if you're up a step or two in the back. We don't want anybody to fall down. One of our ushers can find you with a flashlight potentially, so please be careful. And after that, I can't tell anything else, except I'm going to turn you over to your MC for the evening, Mr. Otis Boggs.
All right, Dave pulled a fast one on you. I'm not the host and MC for the evening. My name is Sean Shank. I'm actually one of the instructors of the Comedy 101 class. Want to come out and say a few things before we do bring out your host and MC for the evening. First of all, before we get started, I want to express to you how incredibly difficult what we as comedians do, okay? And the fact that these 9 people have stepped out of the crowd and come up here to chase a dream is huge. And they did a huge study some years back. They were trying to find out the biggest phobias in the world, right? And they found that in this country, the #1 phobia is public speaking. #2 is death. Right? Yeah. So that means never mess with a comic because they're not afraid to die. So that's what I'm trying to express to you guys tonight. So when these comics come up tonight, now I know that you're here for certain people, and that's awesome, and we appreciate you guys and love you for it. But just know that you'll have your chance at the end. They're going to do an applause off, and you'll get to go woo and throw your hotel keys on stage and all that fun shit. But just when they're up here, laugh. Have fun. Enjoy all of the comics. Don't think you're portraying your person, you know, by, well, I've got to hold back and laugh. No, have fun. Because that's what this is about. Everybody on this stage tonight has already won because they're coming up. And it's an awesome thing. And we're very grateful for you guys for coming out. Now, before I bring out your host, first off, I want to introduce our judges tonight. And we are very, very fortunate to have the panel of judges that we have. First off, this gentleman is a comedy historian and a comedy bibliophile. Now, I've been doing stand-up for almost 30 years. Your host has been doing it for almost 25. And Brad, your headliner tonight, who's going to perform while the judges are tallying, he's been doing improv and stand-up for over 40 years. This guy knows more than we do. Okay, he is a comedy expert to the nth degree. So please give a round of applause for Ryan Babb. Your next judge, he is a juggernaut in the conservative talk community. He is one of the #1 talk show hosts in the country. Everybody loves him. He's hilarious. He's a great guy. I'm very proud to call him a friend. Let's give it up from 95.3, Casey Hendrickson. And last but certainly not least, we are entreated to this third judge. As these comics up here have been chasing a dream, her dream has been to open up a comedy club. But this lady does nothing at a low level, everything she does up here. So when she decided to open up a comedy club, she didn't just get into any building, she bought a library that was built in 1904, is renovating the entire thing, and will be opening next September in Niles. So the owner, and she is affectionately called Mama Bear in the comedy community, because as many comics as I know and like me, they like her more. So let's give it up for Sheila Keeble. Tonight's show is sponsored by, of course, Bristol Opera House and Elkhart Civic Theater. Please do as Dave asked and come out and support these shows so we can keep doing stuff like this. ASDefense.com. ASDefense.com is one of our sponsors. Black Label Clocks is one of our sponsors. And of course, also donating a sound system to the winner, Underground Laugh Lounge in the Study is sponsoring us too. So let's give a round of applause for our sponsors. All right, you guys don't have to see my ugly face for the rest of the night, so let's bring out your MC. This next comic coming to the stage, he's been doing stand-up for well over 20 years. He's performed all over the country. He has opened for a ton of your Bob and Tom favorites, and they call him the godfather of machine gun comedy. Let's give it up for your host and MC, Otis Boggs!
You guys excited for tonight? Awesome. Thank you for coming out to the Bristol Opera House, and thank you for coming out to support Comedy 101. Give yourselves a round of applause. We're going to have 9 contestants tonight. I know you're here. You're excited to see your person here tonight, but we want you guys to share love with all the comics. You know, they're funny. Let's laugh. Let's have a good time. At the end of the 9 comics, we're going to bring them all back out, and we're going to do like an applause off. So they'll come out, and you can root for your favorite person, and that's where the judges are going to tally up. So. Also, while we're here, we've got a few housekeeping rules. I know David said something about turning your cell phone off and putting it on silent mode. Also, since this is a comedy competition, we ask that you turn your flashes off on your phones if you want to take pictures of your person that's up here tonight. They are given a light from the back, and if there's a flash coming up, it could confuse them on their timing, and we don't want to do that. At the end of the show and the contest is over and they're up here and you want to have flash, that's fine. So no big deal with that. Any other electrical devices or anything that makes noise, please turn that off. If you have a pager, you probably won't get any jokes after 1996 anyway. So I just want to make sure I cover everything. I think that's the gist of it there. I'm sure there'll be some other stuff I'll need to bring up, but we do got a great show for you tonight. 9 times 5, that's 45 minutes of comics just coming out. A lot of different flavors. You're going to see a lot of different things. Before we get started, is anybody here celebrating anything? Birthday, anniversary? No. That's fine, that's fine. I'm actually, this year's been a milestone for me. I'm celebrating, earlier this year I lost 250 pounds. Thank you. What actually got me to go to the gym and work out is I took my wife to a anniversary dinner. It was a really nice dinner, and I ordered a 16-ounce steak. It comes to the table, but it's half fat. And my wife's like, you're not going to eat that. I'm like, okay, I won't. She's really insistent. She calls the waitress over. She goes, excuse me, miss, is this an abnormal amount of fat? And the waitress is like, well, I wasn't dating. Bitch. But it did. It motivated me to go to the gym and work out. The one thing I didn't want to do when I went to the gym is be seen as like that old creepy guy staring at the girls. But I was at the gym for like 2 weeks and I found myself staring. Not at any of the girls, but they had a vending machine. I mean, I was looking at that Snickers bar like, man, there's something special in that bag. One of the things they do there is they do yoga, and that's one of the things that I thought, okay, this is a girly thing, it's not for me, but I took it because you got to try and explore and do new things, right? And I do it, and I'm like, it activates a lot of muscles, I burned a lot of fat, it was like, wow, this really works, I like yoga. And I had one lady in class come up to me and said, do you really like this? And I said, yeah, I do. I said, but I don't like some of the moves because they sound provocative, like forward thrust, downward dog, stuff like that. I said, I didn't sign up for 50 Shades of Yoga, right? And then I got to thinking, you know, 50 Shades of Yoga, that whole thing of 50 Shades of Grey was about a pleasure room, and I thought, well, mine must have been the fucking kitchen. But one thing that I got from losing a lot of weight, and I did it over the span of like 3 years, is I got a lot of loose skin. So my skin makes my body feel like a little dick in a condom. But, you know, if you break it all down, food addiction is a very real thing, you know. I still struggle. I've been up and down 20 pounds, and back down and up, and it's a roller coaster, and it'll always be something I'll battle with in my life. And I thought, this kind of addiction is different. It's not like, you know, a drug addiction where you go rob a gas station, but if it was, I could just picture what it'd be like if I was trying to rob a gas station. Hey, put the money in the bag, put it in the bag. Are those the new Oreos? Put those in the bag too. Wait, are those the regular ones? The special edition? Are you trying to get shot? So yeah, thank God it's not that vile of an addiction, but it is hard. It is hard. By round of applause, how many people here are parents? Parents clap. What is wrong with the kids these days, man? The other day I had a 5-year-old flip me off and call me a fat jerk. I was like, after that I was going to give me back his ice cream cone. I can't blame the parents though, because my wife and I, we have problems with our own son. Actually, we've had some serious problems with him where he's been arrested. He's been picked up by the police twice. I'm so disappointed. You know, he could have got away. I could have outran the last cop probably. But no, he's trying to do this whole, like, be a gangster, right? He comes in the house one day, and it's just me and my wife sitting on the couch. He's walking in, and he's like, what's up, bitches? My wife freaks out and says, he's not going to act like that, dress like that. I'm like, relax. I'll talk to him. So I had a talk with him, and I got to thinking, how do I know that when I get up and go to work and he goes to school, he's not going to be sagging again, right? So the next morning, I grab all of his underwear and a brown marker and set at the kitchen table. He come out of the bedroom, he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, keeping your pants up there, skid mark. And you guys know how teenagers get real defensive. He's like, I don't care, I'm gonna wear them like that anyway. I'm like, shit, go ahead, extra skid mark. You know you ain't afraid to bust a trap. But he's doing these things because he's trying to fit in. He's having a tough time. He come to me and he said, Dad, will you buy me karate lessons? I'm like, why don't you use your allowance to buy karate lessons? He goes, you don't pay me allowance. I'm like, that's right, because you don't fucking do nothing. But he's getting beat up in school, so I'm like, you know what, son, I'm going to show you a movie I saw when I was a kid. I showed him The Karate Kid. Man, he watched that movie, he was gung-ho. Wore, swipes the car, paid the fence, sand the floor, ready to go. Went back to school, got his ass whipped again. He come home, he's like, Dad, I didn't learn anything. I'm like, yeah, you did. You learned how to earn an allowance. actually, we live across the street from McDonald's, and I tried to get him to go over there to get a job. And he goes, I refuse to work at McDonald's. I'm like, why? You think you're too good for it? He goes, no, a gay guy works over there. Now, when I heard that, I was upset. I got in his face. I'm like, hey, I didn't raise you to be like that. You get your ass across the street and you touch that man's penis. I didn't tell him that. I didn't, not in that tone. But he's a good kid. By a round of applause, how many people here watch American Idol? Or watched it when it first came out? My wife and I would watch that show all the time. And you know, in the beginning, you see somebody try out that you knew wasn't going to make it, but they just needed to, you know, get somebody tone deaf to try to fill a spot. And they're trying to pull off a Whitney Houston song. And you see them there. And I get enough of that shit every time my wife has an orgasm. It's not what you think, it's actually aggravating. I'm constantly yelling at her, stop masturbating! I didn't take her to the promised land. Oh, shit. But last Christmas, we're going to have to plan our Christmas different this year. Last Christmas, my mom bought my wife the movie Pretty Woman for a Christmas gift. And my wife's like, oh, your mom didn't have to do that. I'm like, you don't understand, that's my mom's way of saying you're a lucky hoe. Which got us in a big fight. And she looked at me, she goes, I chose wrong. I'm like, what do you mean you chose wrong? That's what she said to me, that she chose wrong. She goes, well, somewhere out there's an Otis who's skinny, rich, big dick. And I'm like, yeah, but that Otis has a beautiful wife. I was going to say she started it, but I guess my mom did it. My co-workers were asking me the other day, this year, my wife and I are going to celebrate our 25th anniversary. And thank you. Christmas Eve is when we got married, but this year I turned 52, and they were talking, you know, younger people at work were talking about oral sex, and they asked me if me and my wife still do oral sex, and I'm like, one, it's personal, I wouldn't talk about it, but fuck, we're all friends here, right? But they asked me if we have oral sex. I said, no, not at this age. I'm 50 now. Everything at this age leaks. I don't want to be under there in the middle of a 69 and pull out my reading glasses and say, when's the last time you seen the doctor? That's just not for us. Well, now that I got a good image on your face, I like singing when I masturbate because it helps me to forget I'm jacking off some guy. Apparently, I'll do anything for a tank of gas. You guys know that song? It's alright. Breathe. You guys know that song from AC/DC, You Shook Me All Night Long? I think it might have been written by Baby. Yeah, I know, it gets dark. If a stripper works at 2 bars, does that make her bipolar? Do conjoined twins celebrate Independence Day? Or do the holidays tear them apart? I don't know. I'm going down the rabbit hole. Let you get it out of your system before we bring up the contestants. But we are in December. We are at the season for the holidays. Christians are a proud people, right? First of all, I mean, I joke, I'm a little bit blue, but I do believe in God, but Christians are a proud people, right? But you go by any house and you'll see the nativity scene in the front yard. Not so much for Scientologists. I've never seen a volcano and spaceship in the front yard. I'm just like, come on, man, show some damn pride. Before I get out of here, though, and bring up your first comic for the night, please show all of them some love and be fair. We're all here to have a good time and enjoy ourselves. before I get out of here, I want to tell you guys that I am a law-abiding citizen. A law-abiding citizen. It would be worse in prison for a big guy like me than say a little guy like this guy up front. See, in prison, he'd only get raped, right? I could be raped and tit fucked. He'd only feel it, but I'd see it coming. Hey, I'm always vlogs. That's my portion of the show. Are you guys ready for your first comic of the night? Looking out here, Caleb Wolf.
I'm in the mood for butt sex tonight. Who wants to peg me? I see you, girl. She's like, we'll see how well your set goes first. Anywho, my name is Caleb Wolf. I am 23 years old, and I recently got out of my first real long-term relationship. Before I met my ex-girlfriend, I was single for a really long time. Do we have any single people here tonight?
Yeah.
Hey, call me. All right, single people, listen up. I'm here to warn you. Being in a long-term relationship is like having a golf commentator follow you around every day. And you really just learn that you don't know how to make it through life on your own. This was my ex-girlfriend from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to bed. He gets out of the shower after 37 minutes and 58 seconds. That's a new record, folks. It's fastest shower yet. Does he really think that shirt goes with those pants? I hope he doesn't wear that outfit tonight. I was very grateful for my ex-girlfriend though, despite her commentary, because before I met her, I was also a virgin for a really long time. Like 21 years. That wasn't the punchline. Do we have any virgins here tonight? Okay, not as strong of a reaction this time around. Some of you are lying. Well, look, that's okay. You know, there's no shame in being a virgin, right? For 21 years, I had never entered anyone. And isn't that all hanky-panky is on the man's part anyway? Just entering and exiting, entering and exiting. It's like staying in the revolving doors for too long. Or, according to my ex-girlfriend, not long enough. But the first time that I had sex with my ex-girlfriend was on a full moon. And the only reason I know this is because she went out of her way to tell me. She said, I just want you to know, before anything happens, that tonight is a full moon. And I was like, is this bitch about to turn into a werewolf or something? I mean, I brought restraint, but that was more so for BDSM purposes than anything. And then she proceeds to tell me, sometimes I don't shave a lot. And I was like, she is really selling this whole werewolf thing. But it was okay. I had prior experience. This one time I tried eating out a girl with a full bush, but after a while of poking around down there, I had to come back up and say, listen, I'm really sorry, but I can't find it. And she was like, find what? My clit? And I was like, no, your vagina. Alright, that was kind of a cheap shot. The same can be said about dude bushes, right? And guys, let me ask you something. Does it ever seem like your tinky winky grows like an inch whenever you shave? Well, I grew up calling it a tinky winky. My parents called it a tinky winky. I just grew up in a time when it wasn't so funky fresh to teach your children the proper scientific names for genitalia. You know, we would get in trouble if we said Phallicus elongatus or roast beeficus from Arbezius. Well, anyway, I remember the first time I went completely bare down there, and not only did I feel like a little boy again, but I realized I was packing a monster in my pants this whole time. It was like when the nerdy girl in the movie takes her glasses off for the first time and you realize she was beautiful all along. Well, my tinky winky was the nerdy girl, my pubes were the glasses. Anyway, my girlfriend knows one more thing. I have an IUD, so it's okay if you finish inside me. And I was like, shoot, I don't even care if she turns into a werewolf. Let's do this. But also, why does she have one in her butt? Well, my ex goes on to explain that no, she's not a werewolf, but that having sex on a full moon is like a ritual. And I was like, ritual? Like demons? What kind of sex are we about to have? I'm not prepared to make a deal with the devil, I just want to finish in your butt. And she goes, no, it's like a love spell. If we have sex tonight, you could get really attached to me. So, already on our third date, this girl had me questioning if I needed to call up my therapist and be like, hey Bonnie, it's me, Caleb. Can I mentally afford to get put under a spell? No, not like demons, I already asked. Well, I don't know if she wants to peg me yet. Yeah, she's hot. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think she's pretty moist. Okay, thanks, Bonnie. Bye-bye. My therapist told me to wreck that pussy! My name is Caleb Wolf. You guys are fantastic. Thank you so much.
Caleb Wolf, everybody. All right, we're going to keep this thing going. You ready for your next comic? All right, let's bring her out. Ellen Parrott.
Who wants to peg Caleb? I mean, I'm getting moist just thinking of it. All right, my name is Ellen Parrott, and the first thing we need to get straight right out of the gate is I'm a lesbian. Okay? A late beanie, if you know what I mean. I know, you can't tell by looking at me. What can I say? My parents really knew what they were doing when they named me. Like your typical millennial lesbian, it took me a long time to come out. It wasn't quite as trendy and cool to be gay as it is nowadays. I mean, nowadays kids have come out as like 12 different things by the time they've reached 3rd grade. Now for me, I couldn't even decide what I wanted for breakfast that day. Do I want Trix? Do I want Captain Crunch? I mean, I don't know. The fruitier the better. It did not help that I grew up in a Catholic family. You know, and when I say Catholic, I mean Catholic. We had Wednesday Mass, we had 3-hour-long Sunday Mass, communion where everyone drank out of the same wine glass. All of the on your knees, off your knees, on your knees, off your knees. It's pretty safe to say I figured out at a very young age, I don't like to be on my knees. And then there's that whole thing, you know, homosexuality is the devil. Unless you're a priest, and then you're good. I was just so afraid of coming out. It was like I was Anne Frank hiding from the Nazis, okay? Like, I just did not want to come out. I was not about it. Now, at the ripe old age of 27, I finally mustered up the courage to be like, all right, I'm gonna do this. And it was a mixture of, you know, excitement and straight up panic. Imagine a Shaggy and Scooby situation, if you will. You know, like when they're running the line, they're like, oh man, check out the sandwich, woo! And then they turn a corner and there's a monster, and it's just that straight shit yourself run for the woods panic. That was me. Now, by the time I got into the 3rd person and reached the same response of, it's about time you figured it out, it got a little less scary and a lot more frustrating. Because, like, I thought I had done the best job at hiding it. Like, I even procreated with a man. Even my son was like, yeah, Mom, I am. You know, I consider myself to be a bit of a lesbian thespian, but apparently the one role I can't play is straight. Now I'd have to say my absolute favorite part of coming out would have to be once the whole we know disappeared, was that all of my girlfriends started to realize, wait a minute, we've slept in the same bed. She has seen me naked. More than once. Yes, I have. Once the gay panic subsided, then it was the, oh wait, does she think I'm attractive? Oh, sweetie, honey, darling, you are beauty, you are grace. I promise, it's not your face. You're just not my type. Apparently, my type is exactly like my mother. You need to be a narcissist with just a smidge of sociopath mixed in there. And the key point here, you need to love your cats more than you could ever love me. Now, I didn't quite get it at first, and then I sat back and I thought about it. The cat truly is the spirit animal of the narcissist. They're going to do what they want, when they want. They don't give a fuck, and when they do it, they're not going to accept any blame. It's like, whatever, bitch, I did it. So naturally, this means my marriage was destined to fail, because honestly, I'm more like a dog, okay? A golden retriever, if you will. I am gonna follow you around the house, just waiting for you to drop little love nuggets behind me, so I can just lick them on up, okay? I am fiercely loyal, and oh, so protective. Any loud noise? I got you, babe. Just any random person just harmlessly walking down the street, watch it. This is mine. I am going to tell on myself the moment I do anything wrong. I'm so sorry. Put the toilet paper roll on backwards. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. Every now and then, I'm gonna run you off with a silent but deadly fart. Okay? It just happens. It just happens. And lastly but not least, I am going to love you. Or your leg. Whatever you want me to. All right, my name is Ellen Parrott. Thank you. That's all I've got.
Ellen Parrott, everybody. All right, we're going to keep this thing going. We're going to bring out your next comic. Please welcome Todd Windmiller.
Thanks for coming. I think I need to tell you a little something about Ellen. I think she made that whole thing up just to keep me from hitting her. And it's not gonna work. Hey, this has been one of the most fun experiences I've ever had in my life. And I thought I would share a little of what happened in the class, what we learned. First of all, it is a contest. Funniest person wins. And there's 3 celebrity judges. They each get 1 vote. And then you all, the audience, votes, and that counts as 1 vote. Or in other words, you each get 1/150th of a vote. I guess you're not celebrities. So, the very first thing we learned was the biggest sin a comedian can commit is to steal a joke from another comedian. If you do, you go to Joe to hell. Now, I know this is weird, but I want to go there. That place has got to be hilarious. They said that audiences aren't as smart as they used to be. Now, they did not mean this audience. Of course, they did only give you 1/150th of a vote. But I don't think they're right anyway, because when I was a kid, Superman, all he had to do is put on a pair of glasses, and nobody knew it was Superman. Pretty dumb. This is how every show would end. Superman would fly in the window, save Lois Lane, fly out the window, walk in the door 2 seconds later with a double-breasted suit on and those glasses, and nobody knew he was Superman. Now, if I was Superman, and I'm not saying I'm not, I would fly in the window, save the day, fly out the window, walk in the door with those glasses on and my cape still on. And I can almost hear Lois now. Clark, you missed Superman again. Oh, Lois, how I loved you. We had 3 options on what to base our comedy on. One was life experiences. I thought about it. I got a little depressed. 2, we could look in the paper and do it on current events. I got a little more depressed. And then 3, we could do it on today's politics. Now, when my classmates were able to pry the gun out of my mouth, I decided I would do it on the life experiences. And oh, by the way, I don't really have a gun, I made that up. So, this is what happened to me. I've had kind of a traumatic life. It even started before I was born. When my mother was 8 months pregnant with me, our family lived in Fort Wayne, and my mother went to the doctor in Birmingham. Now, when she got to her doctor's appointment, she had the highest blood pressure the doctor had ever seen. So they put her in an ambulance and sent her to Fort Wayne, and the ambulance drove 100 miles an hour the whole way to Fort Wayne. They got to the hospital. They rushed my mother into the delivery room. Induced labor. And I don't know if it was the tremendous speed my little body had endured, or if it was my mother's extremely high blood pressure. But when I was born, I shot out across the room, the umbilical cord caught me, and I shot right back in. And I didn't come out until the next day. Now I know. I wouldn't believe it if I wouldn't have been there. And also, for the fact that I have 2 birth certificates. Thanks, everybody. You have been great. I have been born again.
John Glenmiller, everybody. All right, 2 more before our intermission. Let's bring out your next comic, Brandon Borum, everybody.
Oh, crap. Hi there, everybody. My name is Brandon Borum, and I decided to do 2 things. One is I do have a stutter. I don't know if he's gonna show up. He's a tad bit late to the show, like always. He's late to every show. But I will say one thing. I do work in a fast food restaurant. And you know how this is gonna play out. I do have customers who come in. I adore them. I just adore them. And then I have the other one. No, I said get out of here. I banned you from this place 3 times already. And I'm not going to make it a 4th. So, okay, have a nice day. I have the regulars come up. Hi, Brandon, how are you? Good, Karen, how are you? Would you like to Diet Coke? Hey, have a nice day. Then I have the other people come up. Yeah, hi. Can you say that one more time? I didn't catch any of that. Oh, goddamn stupid ass people gotta work here at McDonald's. I said a sausage muffin, hash brown, and a Diet Coke. Okay, sausage muffin, hash brown, Diet Coke. Anything else? Oh, why do you slow people, stupid people work here? Just piss you off because we all have fun. We're pissing you off. We get a joy out of it. It actually makes our day easier. I also work at another place, an RV factory. How many RV workers do we have in here? There we go, there's my crowd, there's my crowd. See, you got words. But my dad also works with me too, my dear and loving father. Sometimes he works here, sometimes he works there, sometimes he works back there, sometimes he is... Shit, I don't know where he is. The one thing that these people have in mind. Brandon. Yeah? Where's your dad? I don't know, he's over there. Here's a torch, go find him. Hey, my job, it's your job now, have fun. After the 4th and 5th and 6th and 18th group to come up to me to ask me that, I bought an apple tractor to put on him. Greatest invention ever, I love apple. So I slid it into my back pocket, and one day, these group of people came up. Brandon, where's your dad at? Hold up, let me see. He's in the shitter. Why? They walk away. Group 8 comes up. Brandon, where's your dad? 4 hours later, he's still in the shitter. Oh, shit. Oh, dear Lord in heaven, there, right, you found the apple tractor, it's on the shitter. I will say one thing. I love my RV family. I love my comedy family, the people all around here, and I love my McDonald's family. Oh, jeez, I will say one thing. There are 2 different ways that you can get greeted at both places. McDonald's. Hi, welcome to McDonald's. How may we help you? Thor, RV, whichever one. Get your ass back to work, goddammit! Fucking not paying you for! Goddamn snowflakes working up in here. We need new people, let's go! My name is Brandon Borum, and I didn't stutter one bit!
All right, one more comic before intermission. Please welcome to the stage, Blair Gingrich.
Hi, I am Blair Gingrich, and I am a boy mom. Do I have any boy moms here? Thank you, you guys are gonna get me. If anybody else is wondering what it's like to raise boys, just imagine this. 8 years ago, somebody handed me a precious baby. Oh my gosh. Now there's no food in the house, and there's pee all over. As a mom, I worry about my kids, normal things like, were you nice at school today? Did you do your homework? Hey, get off the video games. Sorry, kids. That was for your dad. Rose, did you brush your teeth? All of them? You know, I hope that my worry pays off because someday you will move out of this house. I just prefer that you have all of your teeth. And it honestly doesn't really matter. The worry doesn't matter because my kids are still destined to make the same big mistake that I made. I became an adult. Not all that it was cracked up to be. Can I sidebar for just a moment? I want to talk about something. The school drop-off line. Do our kids go to the same school? So I just have some rules I want to propose, and I think if we all follow them, I might be able to stay off the blood pressure medication. So, rule number 1, under no circumstances do you, as the driver of the vehicle, exit the car to help your kid get out. If he's still rear-facing in a 5-point harness, he's not ready for school yet. Apparently neither are you. Rule 2, mind the drop zone. This is that area where my kid gets to exit the vehicle without getting ran over. So important. Stay in your lane. We do not practice the pull-out method here. I've seen that one fail too many times. And rule 3. Your child should eject from the car like a parachuter jumping from a C-130 cargo plane. There's no need to come to a complete stop. Just slow your roll, open the hatch. Sayonara, kids. I'll see you at 3. Maybe. So I'm a mom. I am also a pharmacist. And there's a reason that those pharmacies are built with all those countertops and barricaded windows, and it's not to keep you all out, it's to keep me locked in. You think I'm joking? It's so sweet. I have earned, though, a full 35 seconds now to go to the bathroom, and the extra 5 seconds has made all the difference. At any moment, though, a single phone call could send me over the edge. Hello, thank you for calling the pharmacy. This is Blair, how can I help you? Oh, sure, I can refill your dog meds for you. And what's her last name? It's the same as yours unless she got married recently. So I can't bill your dog meds to your insurance. Oh, hold on 1 second. Yes. Oh, the chill pills. Yeah, those are on aisle 5, and they'll work faster if you shove them up your ass. I'm so sorry. Where were we? Oh, you think you have fleas? Oh, well, if that's the only place you have them, those aren't fleas. Scabies will do that to you. Excuse me? Not a good enough reason to use the word moist. Well, you know, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. Maybe you should call your doctor, but I don't think fire's the answer. Well, you got me till closing time, so sure, fire away. One more question. Oh yeah, those chill pills, they're still on sale this week, aisle 5. And they will work better if you shove them up your... Hello? You guys have been so fun, thank you. I gotta get home and clean some toilets. My name is Blair.
Back after 10 minutes, and we got 4 more comics before the applause off, so stretch your legs, take a break, and we'll see you in 10. comedian. Are you ready? Yeah! All right. Please welcome to the stage John Marshall.
Good evening, I am John Marshall. Thanks for coming out tonight. We all really appreciate your support. Personally, I think that getting outside of my comfort zone is really important, just for my personal growth. And that's why I signed up for this Comedy 101 class, so I could take just one small step outside of my comfort zone. Well, I had just gotten my big toe across my comfort zone boundary when these comic professors, these comic sadists, they grabbed me and they pushed me and kicked me so far outside of my comfort zone that I'm going to need to take a bus to get back there. My comfort zone is somewhere over there, actually off the stage, down by the marathon station. And I stand before you tonight a comic virgin, hoping that despite my sweaty palms and my premature punchline release, our first night together is going to be magical. So I've taken a lot of courses over the years to get outside my comfort zone. I took mixed martial arts MMA. I bruised my spleen. I bruised my ego. I signed up for bagpipe lessons and produced a lot of eardrums. I also took nude figure drawing classes at the art museum, where I learned that sketching boobs is not nearly as much fun as touching them. But let me tell you about a time I took a class that ultimately led to a very real exorcism. This is a true story. I signed up for Trappers College. Trappers College was an intensive program taught by grizzled old professors who smelled like raccoon urine and skunk juice. These masters of their craft taught me how to trap and kill and skin all kinds of critters, and in the process ensured that I would never sleep again. So soon after I graduated from Trappers College, I proved my newfound skill by trapping 3 huge beavers through the ice. I was proud, and I took these beavers home, and I skinned them, and I butchered the meat, salted the hides, and what I had left over was a 5-gallon bucket of bloody, moist beaver guts. That particular night, I was too tired to take out back and bury, so I set it outside the back door and went off to bed. Well, sleeping right next door were my very kind, born-again evangelical neighbors. These were wonderful people who were always on the lookout for the imminent return of Jesus Christ and always on guard against Satan and his legions of demons. What those professors at Trappers College had failed to teach me, as grizzled and wise as they were, was that beaver guts bear an uncanny resemblance to the entrails of a sacrificed goat. And I forgot that my neighbors had a large free-roaming dog. So it was the wailing and the screaming that woke me the next morning. I looked out my window, my 5-gallon bucket lay empty in my neighbor's front yard. The dog licked his paws on the driveway, and across the freshly fallen snow was a bloody explosion. Like 3 beaver bombs went off, and livers and intestines and just bread. And standing amidst this carnage were 20 members of the First Pentecostal Church. Their hands raised ahead. Their bodies convulsing. Satan, be gone! Demons, we rebuke you! I had inadvertently caused my neighbors to think that devil worshippers, or perhaps even the devil himself, had come to our neighborhood. And as embarrassed as I was, I needed to go and tell them that beaver gut carnage there was my bloody mess and not the work of Lucifer. So I I walked over and I stood amongst the Pentecostal throng. I looked into their angst-ridden faces. I saw their worry. I saw their fear. I felt their growing anger. I felt their rage. And finally I said, you know, there's something I need to tell you. I think Satan took my bucket. Can I get that back? That's my time. Thank you.
John Marshall, everybody. All right, we're going to bring out your next comedian. Please welcome to the stage, Nina Lilly.
Good evening. I am Nina Lilly. And even though I am a bit of a crybaby, I do consider myself to be an optimist. Recently, a friend of mine gave me a snow globe, and inside it had a rainbow and a unicorn, and I was like, oh, you understand me. But then other people are like, it's all rainbows and unicorns with you, like it's a bad thing. They say I need to live in reality. Have you seen reality? So I'm like, all right, God, which is it? Rainbows and unicorns or no? See, I talk to God like this because we're friends. I mean, and I'm not talking acquaintances, we're like BFFs. I don't know what I would do without her. What? I mean, I have a mirror. I mean, if I'm made in the image of God, I suspect one member of the Trinity has boobs. I have ruled out the Father and the Son. There's just nothing like being mothered by the Most High. But I wasn't always a friend of God. See, when I was young and I was told that He has the whole world in His hands, I was like, dude, you are doing a terrible job. I know, it takes a pretty opinionated person to judge God. But I am not afraid to admit I am opinionated. Yes, I have never overheard a conversation that I wasn't eventually a part of. I like to interject. One time, I read my sister's diary and then sat her down to give her feedback. True story. But nowadays, transparency is trending. Thank you, millennials. I am getting on that bandwagon for sure. Be beautiful. Just don't do it in pajama pants. You will be judged. I have actually personally experienced the harshness of reality. I have faced the consequences of my non-conformity. And that is why it's rainbows and unicorns for me. Thank you very much. Because in this crazy world, if you do not choose to laugh, you will surely cry. Ask me how I know. That is why I am so thankful for a husband that keeps me laughing. And moist, for that matter. We actually just celebrated 30 years of marriage. We are so different. We're like night and day. You know, I'm the dreamer and he's grounded in reality. I tell him all the time, like, our perspectives are so different that I tell him we would make good entertainment, you know? People need to hear this. So recently, in the spirit of authenticity, I decided, I think I'm done dyeing my hair. I mean, this is the truth. But I'm not a monster, so I asked him, hey babe, what would you think if your old lady became an old lady? He said all the right things. He's like, babe, you will always be beautiful to me. 6 weeks later, we're driving in the car and I can feel him checking me out. So, you're all in on that great thing, huh? Oh, did you think I was too vain? No, I figured you could commit. I mean, gray is the pajama pants of hair. Good thing he keeps me laughing. But, you know, it's crazy, like, that we can get along when we are so very different. Again, I'm like, babe, we need to start a podcast. People need to hear this. It is a miracle, right? This is a miracle that we can have so much fun together and think so differently. What should we call it? How about he said, she said? The Paul and Nina show? The Nina and Paul show? How about penis and vagina? Oh my goodness, that is the perfect name. You know I was kidding, right? We could never do that. Yes, we can. It was a joke! Hey, joke or no joke, from my perspective, if you want a relationship to truly work, you need to know when to be the penis and when to be the vagina. You know, there's a time to give, but the magic truly happens in multiples when you learn to receive. Thanks very much. I'm Nina Lilly.
Nina Lilly, everybody. All right, we've got a few more to go here before we bring up your headliner for the night. Please give a warm welcome to Joe Miller.
My name is Joe Miller, and I am a psychic. Before the show, several of you were asked to write a question on these cards that you would like me to answer, and I've not seen these, but I'm going to try to answer as many of these as I can. If you didn't get a chance to fill out a card, don't worry, I might be reading your mind later. Here we go. The first question is actually a private one, and I think it was kind of meant as a challenge, and that's fine, I get these a lot. The answer is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Kevin Hart. Question: what do I call my wife's uneven boobs? This one is actually about a missing person. I get these a lot too. But I'm just going to say that he is... He's safe, and his family does know where he is. So that's all I'm going to say for this one. Where's Brandon's dad? This person did not follow the instructions at all. They actually wrote a single word. I think they were trying to be funny. I think they wrote like penis or something like that. Oh, cop, nice. Actually, you know what? I think this is actually the answer to another question. Can you help me remember this word? Can you help me remember this word?
Yeah.
This person actually kind of did the same thing, but in a different way. They actually drew the Chinese character for wood. At least they didn't draw penises. Oh my. This person actually did draw a penis. Actually, I think they traced it. The answer to this one is under the refrigerator, right next to that piece of pasta from last week. Where the hell did that Fruit Loop disappear to that fell out of my bowl this morning? Clean it up now, you know? With this question, I'm getting a little more information about the person who wrote it. It's a female, mid-30s, Virgo. She collects spoons and other utensils, usually from restaurants. And the answer is a purple shoebox. And I'm going to say, in the shoebox is a personal massager. What's in my second dresser drawer? Another challenge, I think. Remember earlier when I said, help me remember a word? I think this is the question of that. What was the word? It's almost like it's on the tip of your tongue. What is my my sexual preference. Was this your word? Was this your question? Right. Let's read some more minds here. There's a lady on this side, I'm not going to say who exactly, on this side of the audience, who's been stealing office supplies from her job. Don't worry, I won't tell them. There's a couple in the middle here. She's very upset with him. He has no idea why. Honestly, I didn't need to be psychic to know that. And there's a guy on this side who just farted. Well, he thought that's what it was. A little more moist than anticipated. Well, I'll leave you with that. That's it for me.
Joe Miller, everybody. All right, we're down to our last comedian before we come and have the applause off. Please welcome your last comic for the night. Well, other than the headliner. Please welcome to the stage, Brian Wells.
Hi, guys. Hi. Did you see that wall almost murder me to death? Guys, Otis, what an amazing man. Give it up for him one more time. No. I have been listening all evening backstage. I know you guys have a lot more to get. Guys, give it up for Otis. He's been working his butt off. So, here's the deal. As I was leaving my first class, I realized something. I don't think I've ever written a joke before. And I don't even know what I would write. I've acted, I've improv'd, I've done some stuff, I've somehow managed to hold down a job, but I've not actually written a joke before. That's not a cool feeling. What's worse, one of my fellow classmates talked about how they've been writing jokes their entire life. So, it was awful. It was like my insides died and puckered up, and that was my butthole falling off of my body. So I went home and I did what I do best, procrastinate. For about a day, I did everything but right. I cleaned, I walked the dog, I grocery shopped. I found my butthole that rolled away from me. Pro tip, put things back where they belong and you won't lose them. Then, I activated, but I deactivated, but I reactivated my Twitter porn account. Something I don't understand. Why is porn acting so bad? This is cinema, but the acting is sin and enema. Maybe my real calling is to open up an acting school for adult entertainers. I would call it TWATS. The Working Adult Artist Theater School. TWATS. I'm a genius. Speaking of wearing protection, I did have some routine blood work done recently. They did an STI panel. I'm fine, thanks for asking. I already know what I have. Pro tip, and you might want to write this down. Deliver difficult news with a rhyme or a jingle. You have HPV and herpes, so be careful slapping pee-pees. It softens the blow, It limits the number of blows, but it softens the blow. But regardless, I was there getting my work done. My phlebotomist was a nice older lady, very BGE, big grandma energy. But she was not very talkative, kind of low energy, so I had to do all the talking to distract myself. But I did get out of her. She was about to go on vacation, and while her husband was driving, she was going to crochet the entire time. And I was like, this is fantastic. You love needles in your personal and your professional life. This is wonderful for me. She then grabbed my arm, like out of nowhere. And I was like, if you're gonna grab me like that, spit in my face and slap me, Grady. I can close my eyes and pretend you're a man. She then looked at my arm, looking for a vein. Oh, you've got garden hoses. And she crocheted that vein. And I did not know that crochet was a satanic arts and crafts cult. Balenciaga. But I just want to tell you guys something. That is pro tip. You never approach a man's hose that way. Ever. She will be my first enrollment at Twats. No. I have a better idea. Do you guys want a lesson from Twats right now? Yeah! That's what I thought. Guys, this is so special. My uncle taught me, and now I'm teaching you. This is a Tennessee treat. Rim jobs happen in your butthole. Gonorrhea can happen in any hole. Blow jobs happen in your pie hole, but never use your teeth. Yeehaw! Okay, let's see how good you've been listening. Sing it with me. Rim jobs happen in your butthole. Gonorrhea can happen in blow jobs happen in your but never use your teeth. Excellent work. You ain't ever gonna forget that. Most certainly not. But on a serious note, gonorrhea can happen in any hole. Thank you, Elkhart Community Health Department, for your discretion and my hearing. But I would never write a joke like that. I'm Brian Wells. You guys have been fantastic. Have a great evening.
All right, now we're going to bring all the comedians back out and get ready for that applause block so you can show the people that you came here for your love, and yeah, we'll go for there. Comedians, come on out. All right, this is pretty simple. You just go and, as plot as loud as you can for the person that you like or who you enjoyed watching tonight. And this is how the judges are going to give them some of the score that they went through. So please, Caleb Wolf. Ellen Parrott. Todd Windmiller. Brandon Borum. Blair Gingrich. I'm bad with names. John Marshall. Nina Lilly. Joe Miller. And I know he only performed a few minutes ago, Brian Wells. All right, thank you, comics. Go ahead and relax. Y'all, the hard work is done. We're going to bring out the headliner and we'll go from there. We'll bring you out when we're ready. Thank you guys for being a rock star crowd. I mean, you guys really came out here to show support. It's awesome. And on behalf thank you. Again, give yourselves a round of applause. All right, with that said, are you guys ready for your headliner? All right, this guy, he started actually in this theater. He's done acting and improv for 40 years. He started here in 1982. He's worked with us, me and Sean, with some of the Bob and Tom favorites, regionally, locally. Please welcome to the stage, Brad Miller.
How about these dudes, huh? As one of the teachers, I gotta admit, I'm a little bit proud right now. I mean, all 9 of them just killed it tonight. Let's give them another round of applause. Can we do that one more? I did the great job of actually coming up here and talking to you guys while the judges are tallying all the scores and stuff and then talking. So I get to talk to you for a little bit. Again, my name is Brad Miller, and I'm so glad to be here. I want to make sure I make a shout out to the Bristol Opera House, Elkhart Civic Theater for hosting this event. It's a wonderful thing. And the reason I like it the most is because we live in a time where free speech gets challenged all the time. There are people out there that want to control what we say, how we say it, when we say it. And I say, them. Let the comedians lead the way. So I'm glad these 9 that stood up here tonight could tell the truth, tell the way they want to see it, because free speech is an American right, and that's why we're here. Since I got the mic, I get to talk for a few minutes. I judge people. Anybody judge people, like profile people? Yeah. You'd be lying if you don't profile people, right? And I know guys do this, most guys do this. I'm gonna give you a scenario. So you get in an elevator, right? And there's 3 guys and 3 girls in the elevator. And the elevator stops, lights go out. First thing the guys are thinking is like, surfer boy to my right is gonna have to die. Now, why would I say that? Well, if I gotta repopulate the earth, he's way bigger and much better shape than I am. He's gonna go first. Even if you're in the elevator with your wife, she can be queen of the next generation, and I'll have to repopulate with the rest of them. Now, you're thinking to yourself, well, that math just don't work up. What about the 3rd guy in there? Well, everybody, like I said, we're always profiling, and hairdresser boy over there is going to be BFF for the rest of his life. We all judge, women judge. You are the worst judges of them all. You ever had, you go walking down the street, you see a nice young lady come out wearing a nice sundress. First things in your mind, you're looking at her going, whore. You're terrible to each other. You're the worst. I'll bet you, any one of you girls out there, any one of you ladies out there, you see somebody from high school, the thoughts that go through your mind would make a priest want to retire. The first thing is like, that's the wrong color for June. Well, you got old. Looking her up and down. Whore. Right? We all do it. We judge. Now, I will say this. Sir, you started judging me the minute I walked out here. You know I know that? You were thinking, the lights go out in this opera house, I'm going to have to kill Funny Boy first. Bang! But I got to tell you one thing. My hairdresser lessons are going very well. You got nothing to worry about. We judge and profile. It just happens. But looks are something we have to deal with all the time, right? I mean, I've never really considered myself a 10. At best, I'm probably a 5. Now, think about this. So, a 10 is probably like a filet mignon, right? And a 1 is cat food. So, I come in at about a 5, which is about a hamburger. Right? So, I'm kind of fatty. Probably not really good for you. Pretty easy to get, and according to the McDonald's signs, there's a whole lot of 5s getting eaten every day. Hope for tonight. Think about a hamburger too, is a couple things. It's like, well, let's see. Sometimes I can be a little cheesy, smell like onions, and I come standard with a pickle. Anybody know what a Karen is? Raise hand if you know what a Karen is. Raise hand. Karen. All right. So, I had the distinct pleasure a few months ago to experience a full-fledged Karen. It was just an absolute awesome thing to behold. So I'm on this 27-minute flight from Chicago back to, I assume, where the Karens are born before they're released into the wild. And there was this Karen who was she was, I know my rights, I want to see the manager. She knew all the things to say. And she was not having any of it. See, she was seated next to this person, who was trying to get back to their sick mom, and maybe could have used a better relationship with a bar of soap. But she was not having any of it. Proceeded to tell that flight crew that she was wanting to be seated someplace else. She was kicking and screaming. The captain got involved. Security got involved. The Fifth Fleet, the president, I think, was there. I'm not sure. He found his way off the plane. I'm not sure. But they took her kicking and screaming off of that plane, and it was a sight to behold. And I got to say, I felt kind of bad about it, because I was the one that switched seats with her to begin with. Now, full clarity, full disclosure, wife made it back the next day, no harm for her. She's good. I'm kind of a smart aleck. Sometimes things happen, I don't always know why. Have you ever had just movie lines come out even for no particular reason? Like, let's see, badges? We don't need no stinking badges. I see people pointing. See, that's you right there, right? You do it, don't you? It just comes out, these lines, I don't know why. They come out at inopportune times, right? So, I'm a wedding officiant, and I was at this one wedding, it was a regular wedding, and John and Jenny were getting married. And it was going fine. I turned to John, you take Jenny Beal off with a wife, have him hold, so on and so forth. Please say I do. He goes, yeah, I do. And I turned to Jenny, and right then, her mom catches me right there, just looking right at me, and I freak. And I lose my place in the wedding ceremony. And what comes out of my mouth? I know what love is, Jenny. Still waiting on that check. Smart aleck comes out. So a few months ago, I had to I'm a little older. I'm sorry about that, but I'm a little older. I had to go get my heart checked out, and it was a heart catheterization where supposedly you're supposed to send a camera in through your arm to go in and look around inside your heart, right? Now, before you get all freaking out, everything's fine, Brad's good, no problem. They just put me on some extra medications. When you get to be 59, that happens. So, what they didn't do, and before I go any further, any medical professionals out in the audience, medical nurses, anything like that, you guys, I want to give you all due respect, but you sons of bitches is what you are. Right? They said, oh yeah, we're just going to go in through your arm, no problem, look around, be fine. They don't tell you that if they can't get in through your arm, they're going in through the Southland. If I'd have known that, I'd have got the weed whacker out before we got there. Catheterization, and I got the hospital gown on, I got all these things, there's like 6 nurses running around, they're getting me all gizmoed up or whatever. And watch this seasoned African-American nurse named Chloe. I'm here to shave you, honey. What? Yeah, we gotta shave you down there in case you think you're going down there. You're like, okay. She pulls up this dress, right? She pulls it all the way up and she's shaving away. Not joke. She just shaves away. And the whole time she's singing. Oh my God, she's singing. Can you know you? Can you know you? All I can think of is a reverse of a musical from The Who. See me, feel me, touch me. So she gets done shaving, she goes out, all the nurses are out, and there is the smart uncle in the room. He's shaved about, and I'm sorry for this visual, it was shaved like right here. Kind of looked like thigh-high hair socks. You're all going to take that visual home. But they left me in there, and this is where they made a mistake. They left me in there with a black magic marker. Pop that top. Yes, you did. And I write on my freshly shorn thighs, don't be jealous. Well, after the procedure, come out of the anesthetic, and I'm getting dressed, I look down there, don't be jealous, it's gone. You know what it says now? At what? I love you doctors and nurses, but you're some sick bastards. That's what you are. By the way, Chloe and I are dating afterwards. So listen, I'm going to get out here because we do have our votes in, and this is about the students. I want to get them out here to find out who the winner is. Who wants to find out what the winner is? You judges back there, I managed to come up with it, but there were some pretty good comedians up here tonight. I'm not with that. Let's give it one more hand. One last thing. If you guys don't know what comedy is, if you really don't know what comedy is, what I need you to do is go home, find a full-length mirror, strip down to the nose, close it all, and stand in front of it. If you don't think it's funny, I'll come to your house and I'll show you. I'm Brad Miller, thank you so much.
Brad Miller, everybody. All right, now we'd like to ask all the comedians to come back out here.
Go on.
Apparently I'm a slow reader too.
Oh, you guys didn't tally the scores?
Wow.
Okay, so more jokes then. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you go back with them, work with them a little bit, tally the scores. You guys stand right there.
All right.
So I've had some crappy cars over the years. I can remember my very first car was a Pontiac Catalina. It was 70 feet long, got 22 feet to the gallon. I've had 3 Pintos in my life. I've survived 3 Pintos. Now, for those of you who are old enough to remember the Pinto, the younger ones I'm going to explain it to you. A Pinto would explode if you rear-ended it. I never could find a wife like that. So just... But a Pinto was a car you would buy. You would buy a Pinto, and you would give it to your mother-in-law and say, "Oh God, I did my part. Now it's your turn." Right? I've had a girl Camaro. Now, before you say, "What's a girl Camaro?" Well, first of all, it was beige. Who had a girl Camaro in beige? Silver. The girl color, isn't it? Yeah. You are, right? Girl color. Now, the worst thing about it, it wasn't just the color. When you stood on it, when you got on that beige Camaro, it would chutter, sputter, basically the same thing that happens when you put up with a girl, too. And the worst thing is I could only drive it for about 3 minutes before I needed a cigarette and a nap. I can remember the wife and I had one of those van conversions. Remember the van conversions from years ago, right? Had all the nice plush seats in it and stuff like that. I can remember, oh my gosh. Guys, wife and I would spend hours in that van. On our hands and knees. Reaching. Pulling. Grabbing. Every goddamn Cheerios, Lucky Charms, Barbie hair. You name it. And the kids left in there. It was unbelievable. That was the kind of thing that was. Now, I'm all grown up. I have a Jeep, which means I can drive through mud puddles at the mall. Well, that's good. You got a Jeep too, don't look at me like that. Who has a Jeep? Who else has Jeeps? There's one right there. Oh, Jeep people. Yeah, we're stupid. Let's see, what else can I talk about? Let's talk about, oh, I don't know. How about the class itself? Let's talk about the class itself for a second. One of the things I want to make sure you understand about the class is these kids that come up here, and I say kids, they're all younger than me for the most part.
Dirt right there. That's dirt. You're older than dirt.
I am, yeah. I'm 59, so you just deal with it, right? But the reality is these kids come up and they were scared, and a lot of them, weren't even sure, and I gotta tell you, they showed poise, they showed strength, and the stamina the whole time they were doing this class. There were some of them questions like, class 2 is like, I don't know if I should do this or not. I don't think I'm funny. You guys think they were funny? Tonight. And we want to set them up to have the best start possible, because when Sean and I and Otis started, as Jay pointed out, we didn't get some of these benefits of having a class or somebody showing us the ropes. We're going to try to do these classes again, and if I got some comedians out there, I'll be looking for you to sign up. I see a few faces out there. You can't really see much with these lights on, so I'm just kind of pointing that out right now. Right? So if you want to be a comedian, get with us afterwards. We'll talk about it. All right, a couple things. Let's see. What do you do for a living? You pick the front row. You want the tickets? All right, what do you do for a living?
I used to be a music teacher.
A music teacher. What's your favorite song to teach? Go ahead, Shelby.
I did 7th grade general music.
7th grade general. Was that where you played that little plastic flute thingy?
Gosh, no, I did piano.
Piano, okay, all right. Okay, how about you? What do you do for a living?
Brad, the rescue.
Oh, great. Hold on. I've already started this guy.
I'm not sure.
We're only in foreplay right now. Hold on. What do you do? Never mind, we don't care. All right, listen. We're going to get to the winner now. Finally, we got it all tallied up. Jay, we good?
Yep.
All right, man. I would say thank you all. Appreciate you.
Thank you guys for bearing with us. Here we are. We're ready. America has voted. And you text last night. Our 3rd place winner tonight, Caleb. Our 2nd place for tonight, Blair Gingrich. And the winner of the fall 2022 Comedy 101 class, Ryan Wells.
Okay, so I will.
No, you're fine.
No, well, he got to say a bunch of just bullshit for like. So now it's my turn. Hey, when's your birthday? Where do you live? See, not that hard.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, I know, nobody cares. So tonight, also on top of Brian winning that awesome trophy that came to us from Crown Trophy. We also have a custom artist design clock from Black Label Clocks right there for the Comedy 101. And donated by the Underground Laugh Lounge is a system that will actually allow them to go do stand-up wherever they like to. But the kicker, and I'm not sure if this is actually a gift or anything, but Brian gets to do a professional show with Otis, Brad, and myself sometime in the future, and he'll get paid. Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Comedy 101 class for the Fall Bristol Opera House. Let's give them a round of applause.